Hopefully I don't have to put too much together because honestly, I hate putting shit together. They give you a ramp so you can just go. Oh shit, so that goes way far out there. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go. Holy shit, dude, once I put this thing on, I'm not taking it off. So we're gonna put this camera up here on this window, in the back of the van. And we're gonna go drive around and see how this thing does. Hopefully it doesn't break, but if it breaks, we get our answer. Damn, this road is like so up. Jesus Christ. I don't even want to drive down this road. What is up, my MTB homies? Today's episode, we're doing a review on a bike rack that was sent to me by a company called Outfitters. It's an electric bike rack, and I'm actually pretty stoked because I was in the market of getting a new bike rack because the one that I have is the OneUp bike rack that has the really convenient way of, like, you know, you push the little wheel thing and then it, like, you know, just goes and holds just the bike from the tires rather than like the frame or anything like that, which I think is a very great concept, was the main reason why I got one. I even convinced Brian to get one, but now unfortunately I kind of hate it because it sucks ass. And the way it works is that you slide these little wheel thingy chocks up to the tires, it holds it. The problem is you can't put two bikes next to each other with pedals on them. It's so stupid. Like, why would you not think of that when you made this bike rack, that, oh, people usually have pedals on their bikes, they usually don't drive around and have their bikes without pedals because they conveniently want to take their bike off and go ride it, not go, oh wait, now I gotta put pedals on. Because every single other bike rack that exists works like that, and you don't have to put your pedals on. Well, most of them, at least the ones I've used. So I really wanted to get this bike rack. I thought it was really cool, the OneUp. And then, you know, over the years, I've scratched my bike pretty bad because another bike was rubbing up against it because it was going whoa, 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 whoa. So I'm not really happy with it. Luckily, Outfitters sent me an email, said, hey, would you like to collaborate on doing a review on this bike rack? And I was like, yes, absolutely. I didn't tell them that I was sick of my bike rack, but I am sick of mine. I wanted a new one. It just so happens that they sent me this one, but they don't get to influence what I say about this bike rack. I either like it and it does what I wanted to do, or it doesn't. So know that I'm always gonna be honest with all of my reviews whenever I do a review, because what's the point of not telling you guys the truth? What I wanna do, tell you the truth about good stuff that's out there that I wanna use, that you can use, so we can use together. All right, let's get it out of the box. All right, so the bike rack came in the mail. Took about a week to get here. Well, maybe not a week, maybe about 4 days, because I'm in Arizona, came from California, not too far away. But went to Brian's house. Brian got it for me because I do full-time RV, so he had to have it shipped to his house. And so shipped to his house, Brian brought it to me, and he was like, dude, this thing's so heavy. And then when he showed me, it was really, really heavy. I couldn't believe how heavy it was. I was like, holy shit. I mean, if it's gonna hold 200 pounds, it better be heavy duty, but goddamn. Am I gonna be able to carry this thing? Am I gonna be able to put it on my truck? Because the box that's in there right now is ridiculously heavy. So we have to get it out right now. Oh, hopefully the door's not in the way of the camera. Woo! All right, so in the trusty battle van, we have to get this thing out. And I'm not gonna lie, putting it in the van wasn't the easiest thing either. But I guess we don't have a choice, we have to get it out now. Oh my God, I can't even get it out. Ah, ah, ah. Oof. So yeah, we gotta open this thing up. Shit, I don't have a pocket knife on me. Oh yeah, I do. I got one right here. Just kidding. Hopefully I don't have to put too much together because honestly, I hate putting shit together. I always pay other people to do it because I'm lazy. Or I do work for them so I don't have to do it myself. All right, it has a sweet, I think this is the actual like rack, not rack, but ramp. So you can, like, when you get those heavy duty e-bikes, super heavy ones, sweet little ramp we have here. It says Young Electric. I mean, I have an e-bike and I'm gonna use my e-bike with it, but oh, they have like a little bit of, this has like a It looks like they dipped it in like the paint and you spray on top, or you put on top of water. The hydro dip, it looks like hydro dip because I guarantee you this is not carbon fiber. Oh yeah, you can see right here that there's no, it's not real carbon fiber, it's just a hydro dip. I mean, it still looks cool though. How long will that last? But anyways, yeah, because this is for heavy e-bikes, they give you a ramp so you can just go, boop. I mean, I'm gonna use it for both kinds of bikes, but we're definitely gonna test it out on the e-bike and see how it does. And we'll have Brian's e-bike on there too. And his is heavier than mine. All right, so here's the box, it's open now. Does it really matter if I show you guys how to put it together? Because at the end of the day, you guys are gonna put yours together if you buy one, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But I will say that this thing is pretty heavy duty. All the parts in here are heavier than I'd like them to be. Hopefully my hitch can handle it. So with that being said, oh God, I gotta read instructions too. That's the worst part of everything. Let's feel it. Holy shit. Dude, once I put this thing on, I'm not taking it off. It's like really heavy. Like just the tray alone, this tray alone feels like it's almost as heavy as my one up. Oh, but I will tell you this, I like the way this is a lot more. The little ratchet system, this is way nicer than the one up. Oh shit, so that goes way far out there. Oh, that's kind of cool. It came with this sweet lock, which I think is probably the smartest thing to do with most of like bike rack accessories these days. And it came with keys, which is pretty dope, so that you can lock your bike rack up. This is a pretty cool thing right here, and the way this thing's designed, because it's literally gonna screw in to the hitch down there, which I think, I've never seen this kind of design before, but man, I think it's pretty legit. So it goes through, and then you just do that. Oh dude, this one's sick, dude. So this thing screws in here, and then that goes across the whole entire like locking mechanism. That's pretty sweet, dude. Like you don't see something like that often in my, I've never seen this before. I think this is probably the coolest setup I've ever seen when it comes to locking it. All right, so got this thing on, got this one bolt tightened, which is pretty cool because it's just one big bolt. And then we got that really cool locking mechanism down there. Now we got to put the trays on. And the first thing I want to know about putting these trays on is, am I going to be able to open and close my van doors? Because in the past with the other bike rack, the bike rack's too tall, so I can't open and close the van doors unless I put the bike rack down. Well, this one doesn't go down, so that's the only scary thing. And we got to see if we put this bike rack, the slide rail, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna put it on here real quick and see if the van doors will open and close, because if they do, that'd be awesome. Ooh. All right, here's the test. Oh, hell yeah. Like 2 inches of room, look at that. Bing, bong, bang, that's awesome. That makes me happy because man, the other bike rack, wouldn't do that. So another point for these guys and a no point for the one up. I mean, it shakes the whole van, so it's in there pretty good. All right, so unfortunately, I'm running out of light, so I can't continue to do this. I'm gonna put it all the way together and then we'll finish the video mañana. I mean, it's pretty much already put together. Literally almost done. As you can see, it's looking pretty sweet, but unfortunately it's getting too dark out. Put the last couple bolts in and I'll show you the rest. So one thing that was really important to me was the width right here between the frames, okay? These are e-bikes, and e-bike frames are a little bit wider than, say, your normal mountain bike. And one of the things that makes me happy about this Outfitter bike rack is that these pedals will not hit a frame. I've had bikes hit in the frame in the past, rubbed up on my bike right here, scratched it all up, made it look trashy as hell. And the cool thing is that it won't do that on neither one of these bikes. The cranks don't even come close, which is something that makes me really happy. So this was definitely designed in a decent way for this not to mess up your other bikes that are on the rack. So definitely a point for them on this one. All right, so now we're gonna put a camera up on the window up there and we're gonna go drive around and see how this thing does and see how much the bikes move. All right, let's go try it out. And so we're gonna haul ass and try to make them shake as much as possible. Hopefully it doesn't break, but if it breaks, we get our answer whether it's good or not. All right, so now we are going to drive around and see how much the bike rack moves or does what. Hopefully we don't lose some bikes because then I'm gonna be really sad because that would suck. Whoa. And luckily my buddy Brian lives on a dirt road, so it makes it perfect to test out the elements on the van because I'm gonna leave this thing on my van, to be honest. Here we go. Now we're driving. We're trying not to make a bunch of dirt, but you know, or dirt dust, but we gotta hit bumps and stuff and see how it does. Oh yeah, now we're hitting some bumpy stuff. It was actually kind of fun. And they're still doing good. Another thing that I want to mention that's awesome about this bike rack too is that on my one-up bike rack, the handlebars hit the window, and with this one they do not hit the window. So I'd have to put like pads on the window to make sure they didn't hit on the one-up, but on this it works good. All right, here's another dip coming up. All right, it's working pretty good. I gotta say, only time will tell how long it will last, but so far my consensus is that this thing is built very sturdy. It looks nice. There's a little bit more attention to detail. I do like the way the little ratchet system works on this bike rack better than, like, say, a one-up bike rack, but it's also made of plastic, so I don't know how I feel about that. You know, only time will tell if it'll last. So hopefully it does, I don't know, but hopefully it does. Hopefully this bike rack will do its job. Outfitter, this is a cool bike rack. So far, I'm digging it. All right, so now we have two full-sized e-bikes. Well, one's a half size, but not by much weight. Two full e-bikes on there. It's working pretty decently. The bikes are just doing what they do, which is just stay on the bike rack, don't break. And they work. I don't know what else to say. It's a bike rack. It does its thing. It's definitely more heavy duty than the one-up. One of the other pluses about it is the fact that the pedals don't touch. That right there was like such a big thing for the one-up rack that I didn't like. And oh, we're on another dirt road. When it was on the other bike rack, I had a couple incidences where it scratched my bike really bad and made it look terrible, and I was pretty bummed out. I had no idea that was going to happen until after it happened, but thanks to the one-up bike rack, my bike scratched for life, so that sucks. But you know, I'm pretty stoked that the outfitter is not. It actually looks really good, and it's not all messed up, and it won't scratch my bike. So that makes me really happy. Damn, this road is like so up. Jesus Christ. I don't even want to drive down this road. The whole van wants to explode. We're not trying to break the van. We're just trying to see how the bike rack works. Note to self, don't drive down this road ever again. I just realized something. I don't know if I locked in the ramp. Let's go double check that real quick. Well, I locked it in. As you can see, it's right there behind me. So we're good. We didn't lose it. All right, let's carry on. All right.